Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my first impressions review, I guess you could call it, of Pokemon Unite. So, for those who haven't heard, Pokemon Unite is a new free to play MOBA game for Nintendo Switch and soon to come to other mobile devices as well. Um, Basically, a MOBA is a multi-online battle arena game, and it is in the same vein as Smite, League of Legends, that kind of stuff. Those are MOBAs. So if you've ever seen or played anything like that, it's kind of the same thing, but a lot more simple. It's definitely not as involved, not as complex as League of Legends or Smite, but Pokemon Unite definitely forges its own MOBA identity while keeping gameplay really fun and engaging. Um, there's a limited roster of Pokemon you can play as at the moment, but that's fine because there will probably be more added later on. That's how MOBAs tend to do it. They have a certain roster and they add more and more as time goes on. Um, so that'll probably be how this goes too. They'll add more Pokemon as time continues, and so we'll see more just diversity in types of combat and stuff with that too. So how the game is played, basically you have an arena and it's a 5-on-5 match. And your team has to go throughout gathering points by defeating wild Pokemon as well as taking out opponents. And then you score the points in one of your opponent's three goals. Um, and so your opponents are trying to do the same with you. So you're having to fight the opponents, you're having to fight wild Pokemon and try to score goals. That's the gist of the game. It's pretty simple. There's a little more to it, of course, though, because you also have different moves that your Pokemon learns as you go along. As you continue to fight Pokemon and yours level up, your Pokemon will evolve. So, like if you choose Charizard, for example, you start as a Charmander, and your Pokemon evolves as it levels up and as you continue to play, basically during that match. There will also be certain items you can bring into matches, such as a potion, which will heal you slowly over time, stuff like that. Um, and there are certain stage focused, like events, I guess you could call them, as well. Like there's a Zapdos that appears on the stage by a certain point every match, um, and stuff like that. Um, it's super simple, but it's really fun. It is enjoyable to play, and every game can end up being something different and unique and interesting because it basically depends on who you're playing with, who you're playing against, and just what ends up happening. Each of the different Pokemon have different moves and different specifics that go along with them. Some Pokemon, like Pikachu, are more ranged. They use ranged attacks, like Pikachu uses electrical attacks, in order for you to not have to get close, but some are more melee focused. And so you do have to get close. From my experience, the melee focused Pokemon in this game are much more tanky as well. Like they can take more hits, while the ranged Pokemon definitely are a lot easier to take down for the most part. You'll also have special moves that will unlock later on during each match. It'll be kind of like your big ultimate move that you can use, but it takes longer to refresh than your regular moves. So use it sparingly and only when you really need to, basically. Um, and then there's the part that you got to talk about with any MOBA game, and that is microtransactions. So this game I would not consider to be really bad with that at all. because like any MOBA game, like League of Legends, like Smite, they're not necessary. It's not something you need to do to play, to win, to do anything like that. You can very much win a match without having bought a single thing. It does not matter. Most of the microtransactions as well are aesthetic. You can buy different aesthetic items for your trainer character, which is just kind of how you represent yourself online, and you have a trainer card that people can see when viewing your profile and stuff. But you can also get aesthetics for the Pokemon themselves. Like Pikachu has this like gangster outfit, I guess it's called, or something like that. Um, it's ridiculous, and like I think a couple Pokemon have like flower crowns and stuff like that. They're just literally like skins in League of Legends or Smite. So it's the same kind of thing. Mr. Mime has like a gold top hat magician outfit and stuff like that. It's uh, it's mostly just aesthetic stuff you can get for that. There are some items you can buy, but they're menial. You don't need them for anything. Yeah, they can help a little bit, but the help they give is so minor that it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. um, and you can use the money and all to be able to get more Pokemon as well. Now there are some like basically launch specific prizes as well you can get. Um, and it only lasts like a certain amount of time. Like I think there's this 14-day thing going on. Um, and it basically gives you some extra prizes and some extra stuff just by logging in and whatnot. Um, but again, it's like it's mostly just either you get an extra Pokemon here or there, you get an extra little thing for aesthetics and whatnot. It's like again, it's like any MOBA game. The microtransactions aren't necessary at all. Just like with League of Legends, just like with Smite. And yes, they can help, but very, very little. Um, but the gameplay is really addictive. Like you can get lost in multiple matches because they're only about 10 minutes each, which is shorter than a lot of MOBA games tend to be. Like League of Legends, like you can get into a match for like, I don't know, like 40 minutes or so. And it's like so it's definitely a lot shorter so you can get through a lot of matches quickly. And trying out the different Pokemon is pretty fun, getting to see how they work and how differently they work. Even different ranged characters work differently. Pikachu, for example, works differently than Cinderace, and Cinderace um, works differently from other ranged attackers, and so on and so forth. So far, my best Pokemon in it for ranged would be Pikachu, unquestionably. For melee, Garchomp. Garchomp is a beast, which I guess fits with Pokemon in general because Garchomp has always been a beast. But there's all kinds of different Pokemon. A lot of early generation Pokemon, which I hope when they bring in more, I hope they bring in more late generation because there are some, but I just feel like there's a lot more early generation Pokemon in the game so far. So I hope they bring in more, not even just from Gen 8, but Gen 6 through 8 altogether. It needs a little more representation. Um, but overall, a pretty fairly good roster. Um, I have no real complaints over it so far. There's quite a few I have not yet tried, like Alolan Ninetales. I really want to try because every time I go up against an Alolan Ninetales, it seems to be really freaking strong, and I want to try that. Plus, I like Alolan Ninetales. Um, but yeah, it's a really fun game. It's basically not one of those games that really feel like they're important to play like other like the main series games for Pokemon. Like If you're more of a main series Pokemon gamer, it might not be as much for you. But if you do enjoy playing the side games and whatnot, the more like spin-off games as well, or even more than the main series, then yeah, you might enjoy this. And if you like MOBAs, if you're already into League of Legends, if you're already into Smite or whatever else, then yeah, you'll probably enjoy this. Again, it's definitely a lot less complicated than those other MOBAs. There's a lot less to it that you have to worry about. But that's fine because it does what it needs to do and it's still really fun and really enjoyable. So, yeah, if you've played Pokemon Unite already, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it. And if you've yet to play it, but have been thinking about it or been questioning whether you'd like to, I would definitely suggest it. I would definitely suggest at least trying it out. Again, it's free to play. If you don't end up liking it, you're not losing anything. So yeah. And if you are if you are someone who's willing to put forth money into games like this, definitely don't do so unless and until you know for sure that you're going to like it. Make sure you do that first, just so you don't lose any money. But either way, yeah, tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.